Hello, 229 subscribers. Let me show you what we're going to build today. Let's start this prototype. We can say, how are you? This is a very simple question. Let's ask something dynamic. What is the latest M chip Apple launched? Okay, so it got the information from the internet live. Then we can ask a question about our business from the knowledge base, something like, what products do you sell? And now let's ask something specific. This is the document of one of the products. We can get this part number and ask what is the, let's check, what is the element number, maybe element number for this part. And let's paste it and let's see. Okay, 7512. If we check it, 7512. Okay, so this is how the prototype works. Now let me show you the backend. Basically, we are using two tools right now, Voiceflow and VectorShift. VectorShift, we have two pipelines, one for the checking the internet, basically with a Perplexity model, and then another one for checking the database. Okay, let me actually walk you through the scenario in Voiceflow. When we start it greeting us as a user, saying like, hi, how may I help? Then we have a memory block. Memory is a custom function. By the way, if you want to get this template, it's free. First link in the description. So when you copy this template, you will have this specific function, but basically it saves the last user utterance, the last response from the assistant, as well as all the previous conversation into one custom memory variable so that we can use it further. Basically, all conversation history is saved. Now, the most important step, set AI. You can add it here, set AI. Basically, this is the prompt. The goal of this prompt is to classify the last user utterance. Basically, when I said, hi, how are you? It classified this utterance as a simple category. Basically, here are the examples. Simple is the last utterance with very generic things like how are you? When we ask what is the latest M1 chip, this is considered as general category. Here, this is the description and the example. It sent us to another flow. I'll show it further. Basically, these are business question is just generic question about our business, when we were founded, what is the, who's our CEO, and like how many products do we have. And business technical is the very specific question about our product. In our case, it was just the file which was uploaded to the knowledge base. Okay, so we have 4 categories, and we're asking AI to output any of this one category back and save it to question type variable. Very important, you need to set the temperature to as low as possible because we need to limit the amount of things that AI can do. More temperature, more variety. It's not something that we want. We just want either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, then we have a condition step. Basically here we check, okay, so if the question type variable is simple, send it here. If the question type variable is general, it means that if the user asked a simple question, go here. If it was general question, go here. If it's business question, go here. And if it's business technical question, go there. Okay, now we have 4 subflows. When the user goes to the subflow, let's say it's simple. This is very generic prompt. Basically, respond to the user query, add 1 emoji, and be creative and professional. This is the last user utterance. In our case was, hi, how are you? And the conversation history. If you remember, this is where we save the conversation history. And if you take a closer look, after each subflow, we have the memory block. This, again, after the response was provided to the user and user asked another question, everything is saved into the variable and then goes back to the intent classification step. Okay, so this is very simple. Now, for the generic questions, we connected this specific subflow to a VectorShift. VectorShift is another low code and no code platform where you can develop more complex flow with rack databases or with any sort of knowledge base with different integrations. It's kind of like a Voiceflow, but we use it a bit differently. Okay, so it does a very simple API call to this specific pipeline. So when you go here, you can create the pipeline, and this pipeline called internet. Basically, this specific call, as you can see, this is the API key, the content type. So you would need to obviously use your API key. You can find it in settings. And then we use the body and raw content type. For this content type, how you can actually get it is to, if you go here, or if you go here to the internet, for example, again, this thing will be in the file template in my resource hub so that you can just copy and paste it. But you can generate API call, click here, and this is the body that you can input here. But pay attention that here is the value. So this is the value of the input for the user. So this is the user question, and this is, we are setting that the user question is equals to the last user utterance. So in our case, we said what is the latest chip from Apple. So this utterance was saved in last utterance variable by this capture step. And now when we are calling this API, we are passing this specific variable to the VectorShift. Okay, so here's how it's done in VectorShift. Again, similar type of blocks. So we have a master block where we are asking, okay, so you are a helpful assistant that answers the user questions based on Google information and conversation history. So this is the chat memory block, but we don't actually need it because we have the whole conversation saved inside the Voiceflow, so it's kind of not necessary. But then this is the interesting part. So the same kind of question, basically it goes here. So this is the question, but now we need the context from Google because we are trying to access live data. This is how it's done. Basically, we are first asking the LLM. So you can actually go to LLMs and play around with them, drag and drop it here. But basically we are asking, okay, so analyze user last question and structure it in a way how Google will understand it, like Apple revenue in 2024, if we're asking how much money did Apple make, right? So we are structuring this input to the way how Google will understand. Now, this is the most important step. There are quite a few different ways to access live Google data inside VectorShift. And in theory, you can obviously do it through a custom action with like some code with API calls inside a Voiceflow. But again, in this case, we just like to connect the VectorShift because again, the fourth step when we are accessing technical data of the products will be also done on VectorShift. Okay, so now we're just using Perplexity LLM, and now we are passing this, Apple's revenue in 2024 as an example, as a prompt to this model. And then now after it's done, we are passing this information to the master module. Basically, we have the user question, right, from here, and we have the context from Google, basically the context from Perplexity here, and the conversation history from here. And then we are providing the output. In here, if we send this specific call, we are getting the output in output one variable. We are saving this variable in general answer. We're not. This is just the key. It's not the variable. So we are saving this response into this specific variable. Then we stringify this variable. Again, this is more technical stuff, so don't worry. And now we're just providing the output. So we stringified the general answer, and we are providing this general answer, capturing the user reply, saving the whole conversation in the memory custom action function, and then going back into the intent classification. Okay. Now for the business, it's a bit simpler. we have obviously an internal knowledge base inside Voiceflow. So I uploaded just a few text blocks from from one of the businesses actually that we've been trying to work with. This is the Infratech. So like this is the company that sells different kind of heaters. So we uploaded it here. And now when we are asking, classification, AI classify our intent as a business related question, it goes here. And now we are querying that knowledge base, not just the AI model, but we are querying the knowledge base with this prompt. We're asking, okay, so this is the last user utterance. This is the conversation cast like memory, just in case we are using GPT-4o, and your goal is to provide accurate information. Okay, so when we ask what products do you sell, it provided us that we sell different type of heaters, and now it goes back into the intent classification. Now, the last one, the most interesting probably one. So when AI classifies our intent as a business technical question, if you remember, we asked I'm not sure which one we asked. We asked about, right? So about the element number here. So this document is also uploaded into the VectorShift. In VectorShift, we have tab called storage, and basically these are like the knowledge bases. So you can create the new knowledge base. I'm calling it Infratech, and I uploaded a few files. So you can add a document, and you can kind of add a lot of different documents, and now create the whole knowledge base inside VectorShift. It's the same way as you do it on Voiceflow, but in VectorShift. Now, if we go to the pipeline, to the knowledge base, if you see here, we are doing the same kind of call to the specific pipeline. If you see, the pipeline name, we're saying knowledge base, and last user question is the last utterance. So when we said, okay, what is the element number for this part number, this information is saved in the last utterance variable and passed to this pipeline. Okay, so this is how it's, when it starts, this is the first block. Then we are sending to the master block with a system prompt like your helpful assistant, add one emoji, not more, because we are just adding emojis everywhere. And for the prompt, we have the user question from here, right? And for the context from knowledge base, we're saying, okay, we're choosing the knowledge base Infratech. We uploaded all the documents here, and now we're providing it as a context, and now providing the output 1. We're saving this output here. We're stringifying the output, and we're providing this as a variable as an output to the user. Okay, I think it's pretty clear. Again, if you want to get this template, it's free. My resource hub is free. You sign up for my newsletter, I send you the link. Thanks for watching. Peace.